Hey everyone, welcome back with a new lecture with Accredited Laboratory. Today's lecture will be around one of the most important parameters need to be evaluated to ensure the method performance during your method validation, CCα and CCβ, and usually used in veterinary drug residue analysis. So CCα and CCβ in veterinary drug residue validation, and that will be for prohibited and authorized compound which has a maximum residue limit. And that required by European decision for confirmatory methods. Confirmatory methods, as you know, the analytical methods used to identify and quantify your target analytes and ensure detection capability and decision confidence. Decision confidence. Your decision limit is your maximum residue limit in the normal cases, but in this case we will determine one more limit which is higher than the maximum residue limit, so you will accept and reject your samples based on this limit, which is different or higher than the maximum residue limit. And in European, they divided the veterinary drug residue to two categories: prohibited compounds. Prohibited compounds such as chloramifenicol or nitrofuran, these compounds are prohibited, cannot be used to treat the animal, so it should not be there, but they kept minimum performance required limit instead of maximum residue limit. This is for the analytical requirements, because for the instrument you need a value to be used during method validation. So they gave you this value, which is, as example, for chloramifenicol 0.3 microgram per kilogram, for nitrofuran maybe 0.1 microgram per kilogram. So you should accept and reject the samples based on this minimum performance required limit. If you found result higher than 0.3, so it will be rejected. Less than 0.3, it will be accepted. And authorized compounds, the other group, authorized compounds, which contain or has maximum residue limit. So why do we need to determine CCα and CCβ? Especially in case of veterinary drug analytes, which is very risky, which are very risky analytes for the human, you need to have a high level of certainty when you submit your result, accepted or rejected. So you need to add another level of certainty which is higher than maximum residue limit for authorized compounds, or higher than minimum required performance limit for prohibited compounds, and especially for prohibited compounds, because this minimum required performance limit, this limit is very low. So you need to be highly confident from your result and you don't have false positive or false negative result. So because of false positive alpha and false negative risk beta, they add another level of certainty which is higher than the maximum residue limit for authorized compounds or minimum required performance limit in case of prohibited compounds. CCα and CCβ, the level where the method detect the analyte with a 95% certainty, minimizing the false positive and negative risk. And to understand this more, you need some examples. So for prohibited compounds and for authorized compounds, I'll give you some examples, and after that also I will calculate using the Excel sheet. Prohibited compounds, as I said before, substances not allowed at any level of concentration, at any concentration. It should not be there in the sample. And as I said, European determine minimum required performance limit for these compounds for the analytical requirements, such as chloramifenicol. And in this case, validation requires estimating CCα, which is the decision limit, to confirm presence of the analyte in the sample. You are highly confident that the compound is present in the sample. You decide this. So CCβ, another level of certainty, which is detection capability, to detect with a 95% certainty. And the goal is to detect even trace levels with a high level of certainty and minimize false positive and false negative rates, as I explained before. How to calculate this? Target compound here in this example is chloramifenicol. The minimum required performance limit for this is 0.3 microgram per kilogram. So you will spike 20 samples. 20 samples will be spiked at this level of concentration, and you will determine the standard deviation. From standard deviation, you will calculate first CCα, which is equal to minimum required performance limit for this compound that you spied already in the samples plus 1.64. This is factor multiplied 2.05, which is the standard deviation, equal to 0.382. Then 0.382, you will spike this level of concentration at also on 20 samples, another 20 samples. Then you will determine CC beta, another level of certainty. So 0.3 equal to 0.382 plus 1.64 multiplied to 0.05 equal to 0.464 microgram per kilogram, and this is another or higher than the minimum required performance limit. So this or CC alpha and CC beta is very important in case of prohibited compounds. I can find that this is very important in case of these compounds because the limit is very low, and you need to be 100% sure from your result or 95% confident from your result. So you need another level of certainty, not only 0.3, you need to increase it little so you will be 100% sure. And in this case you add every effect inside your lab and the instrument also for the maximum residual limit, and you keep it as maximum residual limit for your compound. Not like uncertainty. In case of uncertainty, that will be added to the result, to the final result. Any uncertainty you will calculate, whatever the percentage you got, so it will be added to the final result to give you the result that you will accept or reject. It will give you a result. But in this case, we increase the maximum residual limit. We increase the minimum required performance limit. We give another level of certainty for our compound. So in case of prohibited compounds is very important, especially in case of veterinary drugs. But not always required CC alpha and CC beta, but required by this validation guideline. So example here. So you found that higher than 0.382 microgram per kilogram, the level above which you can say with 95% confidence that the compound is truly present. So the compound decision limit, you decide that the compound is present in the sample. Oh, but higher than 0.464, you 100 or 95% confident detection with a 95% certainty. This add another level of certainty, and this became your maximum limit, maximum residual limit or minimum required performance limit for your instrument and in your case for this target analyte. But for authorized compounds with a maximum residual limit, there is a maximum residual limit for these compounds such as tetracycline or sulfonamides or other compounds also with a maximum residual limit. So as example, if it's 100 microgram per kilogram in the sample, so higher than this limit will be rejected, lower than this limit will be accepted. I can find that CC beta in this case is not important because this is already high limit, and you will calculate also your uncertainty. But in this validation guideline in European Union, they require also require estimating CC alpha and CC beta for authorized compounds. So with maximum residual limit, substances with allowed limits, limit which is at this limit, the sample will be accepted. Higher than this limit, the sample will be rejected, or you can say specification limit. Validation requires estimating CC alpha level above maximum residual limit where the sample is considered non-compliant, CC beta level where non-compliance is confirmed with 95%. You can say 95% confidence that this sample is non-compliant, higher than the CC beta, this level of certainty, based on spiking at maximum residual level and measuring standard deviation. So same what you did in case of prohibited compounds. You will spike 20 samples at this level of concentration, 100 microgram per kilogram. You will calculate standard deviation and CC alpha equal to maximum residual limit plus 1.64 multiplied to the standard deviation you already calculated equal to this concentration that will be spiked. This is CC alpha will be spiked for also 20 samples. Then you will calculate the same equation, so you will get 106.2 microgram per kilogram. That at this level of certainty you will accept and reject this your sample, and you can say that you are 95% confident that the sample is non-compliant. But as I said before, that for me these compounds, for authorized compounds with a very high maximum residual limit, you don't need to calculate CC alpha and CC beta, but if you follow this guideline from European, you have to evaluate. So interpretation higher than 103 microgram per kilogram, potentially non-compliant. Some potential non-compliant. You are 95% confident that the compound is present in the test sample, and it can be non-compliant. But here, higher than 106.2, confirmed non-compliant. 100%, you are 95% sure that the sample is non-compliant. And in this graph also you can find CC alpha and CC beta and the minimum required performance limit here. طبعا relation here between probability density and concentration, probability distribution and concentration here 0.3 microgram per kilogram for chloramfenicol. And when you add CC alpha as I said 0.382, here CC alpha, the compound is present. You are confident that the compound is present, but it can be complied or not. The sample can be complied or not. But here 0.464 CC beta, you are 95% confident that the sample is the compound is there and the sample is non-compliant, higher than this limit. As you can see in this Excel sheet, for this compound type prohibited compound chloramfenicol, I spiked the sample and with this 0.3 microgram per kilogram for 20 samples. I got these results. Then I calculate recovery should be accepted for all of them. Then you will calculate average and standard deviation for all of them. Standard deviation. Then you will calculate CC alpha. CC alpha equal to standard deviation is equal to the C2, which is the minimum required performance limit 0.3, plus 1.64, which is the factor, multiplied to standard deviation 0.03. Then you will get this result 0.34. Then in this table you will find also you spike the sample at 0.34 CC alpha, 20 samples spiked at this level of concentration, result here, and recovery should be accepted for all of them, average, standard deviation. Then you will calculate CC beta equal to CC alpha plus 1.64 standard deviation. That's very easy. And also for authorized compound the same thing, but you will spike at the maximum residual limit here. Thank you. That was the end of our lecture for today. Please, if you have any question, please leave it in a comment, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.